Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sport. For today's preview, Ireland versus England, the Grand Slam on a St. Patrick's weekend. You could not have scripted it better for the number one side in the world, Ireland, who just need basically a point out of this game to win the Six Nations. And they were looking for all five, to be honest. I think this Irish team has got so much confidence. Even more than winning the Six Nations, it's about them putting down the marker, getting another bonus point win and going, we are here to clean up. We're here to potentially win the World Cup at the end of next year. We know this is not a side that's just gone through a good period. We are genuinely world class and we are genuinely the best side in the world to be feared with. And why not with the way they're playing? Really, honestly, it's very difficult to see certain. I think there are only 2 or 3 teams which can beat this Irish side, and very few that can if they play to the best of their ability. The English side, well, they're coming off the back of an absolute disaster result against France. They've got to respond in some way. And it's unlikely to be a win. It's unlikely to be, even a draw or anything like that. But they've got to respond. They've got to show a bit of heart. They've got to show a bit of fight. They've got to prove that last week's game against France was an anomaly, and that's not going to be the regular performance level of an English side. So plenty to prove, and a couple of changes in both sides. We'll start with the home side, which is Ireland, and they brought back everybody. They brought back the big dogs. So Johnny Sexton, for example, will start and captain the side. In the front row, though, Andrew Porter, Dan Sheehan, Tyke Furlong, one of the best, if not the best, front rows in the world. In the second row, you've got Ryan Beard, who comes in next to James Ryan, Peter O'Mahony, Josh van der Vliet, Caden Doris. It's a world-class pack. And for me, I think that's where, if I'm England, I'm panicking. Because England, I thought last week, were bullied by France. The pack just couldn't even begin to compete, and the backline as a result was then run absolutely rugged, and England were just swept off their feet. This pack, I don't see how England really compete against it. It's a struggling English pack with a lot of confidence issue, and I think that the Ireland are very much going to look to sort of hammer them up front. And then they brought in Jamison Gibson Park and Johnny Sexton, which we know will then mean that the pace of play is going to be really high. There's going to be a really high tempo. They're going to push England. They're going to stretch England. They brought Bundy Aki and Robbie Henshaw in the centres, so that's 2 hard-hitting centres. And what a pleasure, no Gary Ringrose, Stuart McCloskey doesn't get to attract Nog, but you then got Robbie Henshaw, Bundy Aki, 2 British and Irish Lions to be able to go in there, and that shows you the depth. And then James Lowe, Matt Hansen, Hugo Keenan, what a back three they are becoming. Matt Hansen been absolutely superb this tournament. I think Hugo Keenan's the best 15 in the world right now, so really impressive stuff there. Off the bench, they call on Rob Herring, Cian Healy, Tom O'Toole, Kieran Treadwell, Jack Conan, Conor Murray, Ross Byrne, who I've been very impressed with. I do think that he will be the heir to the throne of Johnny Sexton. A couple of youngsters coming through, obviously, for Ireland as well, but I have been very impressed with what I have seen from Ross Byrne this tournament. Jimmy O'Brien getting an opportunity in the number 23 jersey as well. For England, not too many changes, but a couple of notable ones. None more so than Owen Farrell back at 10. As Steve Borthwick continues to try and find out what's the best way to get his team going. Now, I think the issue, maybe for a lot of players, could be, or a lot of fans, the pack doesn't change, does it? The only change is that David Ribbons comes in for the injured Ollie Chesham. He's one of their better players. But in the front row, Ellis Gaines, Jamie George, Carl Sinclair, they have to man up this weekend. Physically, you've got to arrive and they've got to step up and they've got to try and go toe to toe with some of the best players in the world, or else they're going to get blown away. Mario Itoje as well. People are talking about if you were to pick a British and Irish Lions side right now, you wouldn't pick Mario Itoje. This is somebody who I think people predict to be a potential British and Irish Lions captain, definitely an England captain by now. So he needs to step up. We've all seen the Mario Itoje he can be. He's got to step up though. Lewis Laidlam, Jack Willis, Alex Dornbrandt as a loose chair as well. I think are under a bit of pressure, especially the likes of Alex Dornbrandt, who has been so good in the Premiership but really struggled so far. And whether it's down to him, whether it's down to game plan, needs to try and figure out what's going on there. Jack and Portlead, partners Owen Farrell, Henry Arundel comes to the side in the 11 jersey, Anthony Watson at 14, Freddie Stewart at full back. In the centres, they've gone with the hard-hitting Manu Tuilagi and Henry Slade. So, Aki versus Tuilagi, it's just going to be a fud fest, isn't it? But that's going to be exciting to watch. 2 very physical players going toe-to-toe, or rather shoulder-to-shoulder, chest-to-chest, maybe even head-to-head. With the way those 2 play. Off the bench, Jack Walker, Marco Vinapola, Dan Cole is the reserve front row. Nick Isekwe, Ben Curry, the 2 forward placements. Alex Mitchell, I thought, changed the game a little bit for England last weekend. Brought a lot of pace and tempo when he did come on. Marcus Smith, Joe Marchand. So it's not a bad bench. I think Marcus Smith is under a little bit of pressure in terms of whether he's actually ready and good enough for international rugby. And I personally also have my doubts. I think he's a phenomenal player, especially at Premiership level. I think he's going to play 50, 60, maybe 100 tests for England if he continues like this. But I do think that sometimes he just struggles in international to be able to manage games, to be able to sort of take the pressure off when the pressure's on from his pack. I personally don't understand how George Ford's not around the squad and playing. I think that he's somebody who has been there, played plenty of times. I think England have played their best rugby with him at 10. So I'm very surprised not to see him having been more involved. Interested to see what will happen moving forward. Let me get your predictions down in the comments below. At the end of the day, for me, it's about how much Ireland will win by, not if they will win by. But you never know. Maybe the pressure of that last hurdle, England desperate to bounce back. Maybe this could be closer than expected. But I'd be very surprised. Please do smash like on the way out. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.